Podcast, WATP.
Club Random, Bill Maher's podcast. He's been getting some legends on lately.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who's booking for the show, but they know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. You know, we had Billy Joel on recently after Billy Joel's doc came out. Woody Allen has a book out now, and Woody Allen comes on. And our buddy Darren was the one who suggested that we check this out, Adam. And so I know that you know a thing or two about Woody Allen. You're a fan.
I know Woody Guthrie. I haven't heard of Woody Allen. Is he some kind of... I know Woody Allen pretty well.
Okay.
As you can imagine, I'm
should have talked about this before the show.
pretty familiar.
All right, cool. So they start off, they're trying to find some common ground when it comes to comedy clubs. Now, these are two very different generations between Woody Allen and Bill Maher, but they're trying to feel out, like, did you work at this place? And when I was out in L.A., I did this. When I was in New York, I did that. And I just thought this was funny that this is what Woody Allen goes to try to figure out if he has some common ground with Bill.
I played that other place in Hollywood. It was at an upstairs and a downstairs.
What year?
The year that Kennedy was assassinated.
Oh, yeah, that club. I remember that. Sure. 63 we're going back to. So that didn't help. They didn't really find a lot of common ground when it came to that. So after they break the ice and have a little small talk and stuff, we get into it. And of course, Bill, what he likes to do is he likes to tell the very famous person who they are. He did this with Billy Joel. He defined who Billy Joel was to Billy Joel. He doesn't like to ask questions. He doesn't like to tell them. And he's explaining to Woody Allen that Woody Allen is an intellectual, even though Mr. Allen doesn't believe that that's correct.
I've often said I'm mistaken for an intellectual.
This is what I have to challenge. Because answer me this then. If you have no lofty thoughts, why didn't you just keep making the silly kind of movies you made at the beginning that were just gags? I grant you, there are no lofty thoughts in Bananas. There's no lofty thoughts in Take the Money and Run. But then you did Interiors and movies that were like almost all lofty thoughts.
But I was riddled with ambition to be a serious filmmaker, but I had nothing to contribute in terms of insights
You know why that is?
So he's constantly telling people who they are, and then when they're like, well, that's not true. He disagrees with them.
Yeah.
It's Billy Joel all over again.
Yeah, Woody Allen's talking about his life and how he felt, and he's like, no.
Nope, you're wrong.
Also, I'm well-versed in his early stuff.
Yeah.
And Take the Money and Run has lofty thoughts.
Thank you, right? It was offensive. He shouldn't be talking to him like a filmmaker. The way he was like, yeah, that one's stupid. And when he's like, well, why would you say that? Like, you don't have to say that. Even let me say that. You don't have to. And I'm sure as soon as he said it, he was like, exactly what Chris said. No, there's some stuff in there.
Sure. Well, I like that what Bill Maher does is he brings the best out of people. And, you have this legendary comic, Woody Allen. Of course, he's going to get the most entertaining version of him on his show.
Life is a terrible, painful, awful, tragic thing.
Where that's like near the beginning of the episode, we're already down to how horrible life is, what a miserable experience this whole thing is. Do you want to see more of Bill explaining to Woody who Woody is and what Woody did in his career?
What you did early in your career was set down this marker that I can't be embarrassed because I'm an artist, I'm going to fail sometimes, and that's what's going to make you like me more. I think that's what you did, possibly not by choice. It's just how you followed that idea. You're not going to let anybody tell you what to do, how to do it.
Why even have Woody there?
I was just going to say, I'm surprised he's on the show. What does this do for him?
I mean, Bill could just tell us all about Woody Allen without Woody Allen being there.
I know.
That's the point. So you just heard him say that, you set yourself up so that you could fail and it wouldn't matter and people would like you even more when you failed. So Woody thinks about this for a second. He goes, well, that's not true.
It's dicey. You can't afford, you're resigned to the fact that you will fail, but you can't afford to fail too much because then you can't get any more money.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that whole, Hollywood machine thing and financing movies. It's pretty expensive. So you can't just fuck around forever. You gotta pull it off at some point. Yeah. I love Bill. You're like, I guess you're right. I mean, you're the one who lived that life, so maybe you would know better than me. Bill starts talking about books, like classic novels. Mm-hmm. And Woody Allen's not a big reader, so he hasn't read these books. But Bill, who fancies himself an intellectual, you know, when he was asking Woody, like, how come you don't think you're an intellectual? Because he wants to have that conversation like, you know, guys like us who are so cerebral. You know, we just know so much stuff.
Woody's like, because I don't want to sound like you.
Right. Because I can tell he wants to be like, we're so profound, you and I. It's like, all right.
There's no we.
Yeah, it's fine. So he starts listing all of the books that Woody has not read.
You say, you know, that you never read Great Expectations, you never read Ulysses, you never read 1984, Catch-22, Don Quixote. You mentioned.
That's right. I've never read any of the ones you've just mentioned.
I've read them all. You want to get the skinny on them? You want to get the.
Yeah, you can you condense them?
This could be the greatest Cliff Notes ever.
Woody still got it.
Yeah. Can you condense all of those classics, please, and just tell me what the gist of it is?
I want to see that movie.
It's like Ray DeVito. Yeah, I get the gist.
Oh, yeah.
I read all those. So then they're still talking about books. And, you know, what I like is that Woody's not playing into this game. He's not pretending to be an intellectual or to want to follow this conversation or want to have the knowledge of these books and things like that. And he says something, Woody Allen does, that is geniusly comedic. And it goes right over Bill Maher's head. I don't think he understood what was going on here.
I bet you'd like Catch-22. The other ones, yeah.
I might. I read Catcher in the Rye, and I like that.
I think you'd like Catch-22. I might. Catcher in the Rye is pretty good. Like, that's fucking hilarious. That's a genius response. Watch what Bill's response is to that.
Short.
I thought that was.
It's good when they're short.
That was, yeah.
I guess he didn't get it. Unless I'm missing something. The joke there is that the word catch starts both of those titles, right?
And Catch-22 and Catcher in the Rye are very different books. Catcher in the Rye is a lot more depressing. It's remarkable how poorly Bill's doing for us all to be just instinctually defending Woody in every beat here. That's how poorly he's doing. It's crazy.
Wait till you look at the comment section under this video. It's something else. So, in his book, Woody Allen says he's never made a great movie. And, you know, this comes back down to with Billy Joel, where he's like, no, Piano Man's a great song. But he's like, I don't think it's that great a song. You know, it's just like, you're not going to convince Woody Allen he made great movies if he doesn't think he made great movies. He says he made some good movies. More than half of them are bad, but he's never made a great movie. And so this is this conversation with Bill.
I never made. If you think a great movie is Rashomon or The Bicycle Thief or The Seventh Seal, or
see, I've never seen those. Just like you've never read the books.
Now, why haven't you seen them?
Because I'm just the young man in the 22nd row. I like these art house movies that you like. I mean, you're right. I haven't tested them enough.
You'd enjoy them, though. But the thing about them is they're not homework. They're entertaining.
Okay.
They're actually gripping and entertaining.
But I've heard people say that about other things that did not grip or entertain me.
What a closed-minded thing to say. You're talking to this legendary movie maker, and he's going, these are the movies that I aspire to create. These are the things that I think are genius. Just like those books you were listing to me a minute ago. Here are the movies I think are great. And Bill goes, I'd hate those.
He's so dismissive.
He's so dismissive. And Woody's even making the point, like, no, these are movies that are made to entertain people.
Yeah.
This isn't just like art house bullshit for intellectuals to say it's amazing.
Right.
And Bill's like, people have tried to impress me with stuff before and I didn't like it. What does that even mean?
There's a fundamental disconnect here, and Woody's being nice about it, and Bill's being a dick because he just wants to be right.
Yes.
They're two comics who should be talking about comedy, treating each other like comics. But Bill's like, no, you're not a comic. You're this other thing. And Woody's like, actually, we're the same guy. So Bill's like, fuck you then, because he's stoned out of his mind and drunk, and Woody is not. And that's just not the best dynamic for a talk show.
So if you remember, I keep going back to the Billy Joel interview because there's just so many similarities. If you remember in that interview, one of the things that Bill Maher brought to that, he had prepared, was the top hits of 1968.
Yep.
And he wanted to read through that list of songs to Billy Joel. And Billy's like, why are we doing this? What's going on? What do you think about this song? Pretty good. You know, it was that kind of conversation. Well, he did a similar thing here with Woody Allen.
I usually prepare nothing for this show. I think that's obvious. But I did want to ask you about movies, because your taste in movies. Like, I would not want to know if you've seen any of these movies. Like, these are not the art house foreign director movies. These are like the ones that the common people love. But, you know, they're big, like Godfather. You see?
I saw Godfather 2, I thought was great. The period work.
Which is a great answer. Do you like Godfather? Godfather 2 had some moments. Had some scenes I
scenery
enjoyed.
is nice. I like the scenery.
For sure. So he goes through and he starts listing off all these movies, and most of them Woody Allen hasn't seen, like Honora that came out last year. And Woody goes, oh, you know, my wife Soon-Yi saw that. She said it was great. Bill's like, yeah, but why wouldn't you want to watch a movie like that? And then they just start arguing about the fact that Woody's not interested in seeing Honora.
You're
No, it's not that I
entitled
don't
to
like it.
I know, but we're all entitled to enjoy what we want and enjoy our lives the way we want.
But I might enjoy it. But
Right.
I don't give it a chance.
I'm just saying.
Because I don't have...
You don't have to apologize for not watching Honora, and I don't have to apologize for not watching The Bicycle Thief.
It's not that I didn't like it.
I know.
I just haven't seen it. I might love it if I saw it.
And that's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
And it's okay. I don't watch The Bicycle Thief.
I can't figure out why, though.
What's it about?
The bicycle is stolen, and the picture is him trying to retrieve it, and it's very crucial for
Are you sure this is not Pee-wee's Big Adventure? Because I think that's the same plot.
I didn't see that. No,
I didn't see that one either.
Quickly dismiss. No one's ever seen the Pee-wee movie. That was just a joke. So this is a really weird dynamic, and this goes on for a while, where Bill's saying, you need to read these books, and Woody's going, why wouldn't you watch these movies that I really enjoy? And both of them are just going, not for me. Fine. You know, Woody likes movies, and Bill likes books.
Allegedly.
Leave it at that.
I'd like to hear Bill's takes on these books.
Well, he was going to summarize it, but we never got around to that. I was actually
He's also chiding Woody for apologizing.
right.
He's like, you don't have to apologize. Oh, all right.
Yeah, you're the
He
one who-
wasn't apologizing. He doesn't feel bad about it. And regardless of who he is, you're cutting off a 90-year-old man who's trying to make a point. It's rude in any setting.
Yes. This happens quite a bit. And the fact that they're even having this argument, this conversation, is because Bill's the one going, why haven't you watched this movie? Your wife went and saw it. You couldn't go see it and tell me what you thought about it? It's just like, it's not for me. It's not what I'm interested in. Sorry.
This is really just a glorified beer on the balcony. Like, it's an excuse
Yes.
for him to get drunk. And every time they're on Woody, you hear like ice jingling and things happening. He's not listening or paying attention. He's just drinking and smoking and getting back to yelling at Woody.
Adam, if you got a chance to sit down with Woody Allen, do you think you'd get nice and loaded and make sure you do a bunch of drugs that day, or would you want to like pay attention? And
Not only would I not do that, I know for a fact that all of these people don't want to talk about their own stuff. Woody wants to talk about music and other people's films. Bill wants to talk about comedy and his shit. And there's a big misread going on here. He thinks Marin would do this too when he talked to comics or when he talked to musicians. He'd be like, I know you and I'm going to impress you with these things. And when those things don't impress them, they can't pivot. And they just keep hammering this home. Like comics, it's cool to not do your act in an interview. But a musician just wants to play. So when Billy Joel was like, Bill, you want me to play this? And you were like, no. That was not cool, Bill. That's not like, saying don't do your act. I get it. The guy wanted to play, and you
Right.
told him, no, you're not understanding what's happening.
wanted to show
Why
you
don't just
something.
listen to this guy for a minute, and maybe you'll learn something.
well, he finally does start talking about something they both have in common, and that is smashing puss.
I knew you were going to say
Because
that.
Bill is a ladies' man, as you know, and Woody Allen, there's some things we don't want to get into, but he had a lot of hot girlfriends back in the day, and so that was a thing that Bill Maher and his buddies really admired about Woody Allen.
As 14-year-old boys, because we read about your life, eating dinner at Elaine's every night, and all these women. I mean, you were such a ladies' man.
incredible that I was able to have a life and to have been involved with a number of women that were quite beautiful and formidable, gifted and intelligent.
You had dated Diane Keaton and both her sisters.
I was a unusually lucky guy when it came to. I've had some wonderful women in my life, very, very influential on me.
And Bill's like, yeah, they're very influential. But which sister had the best smelling vagina? So that's really what I want to know here. Like, I can't talk to anyone else who's had all three sisters. So it'd be cool if you could let me in on this. This is a 90-year-old man. He's been married for a very long time. He's talking about all the hot chicks he used to fuck. Oh, so anyway, I was playing this club in Hollywood on the day that Kennedy was assassinated. How far back do we have to go here? So apparently, the point that Bill's making, because no one looks at Woody Allen as the leading man kind of guy, The point he's making is like, well, it must be because you have a really good sense of humor. Women are attracted to that. And then he decides to shit on his own point.
When they interview women, and I guess men too, actually, but when they interview, I notice more with women, that when they ask them what's important to them, that sense of humor comes up almost more than anything else all the time.
They're lying. It's just that when the good-looking guy says anything, they laugh.
Okay, way to shut his point. And I believe Bill Maher's point on top of that. But it is true. Women like a guy with a good sense of humor, who is a musician, flies drones as a hobby. These are just facts, people. This is what women are attracted to.
Where are you going with this?
Why aren't you writing this down, producer Chris?
I am.
All right. So then we start talking about therapy. I guess Woody Allen was in therapy, not anymore. And Bill and I might agree on this.
Are you still in therapy?
No, I haven't been for a long time.
Thank God. You said, I still have the same issues and problems and neuroses I had when I was 17.
Yeah, this is true.
Then why, never understand this about therapy. Doesn't that say it's not working? Why keep doing it?
This is how I feel, but I'm a longtime Howard Stern listener, so that's kind of where that comes from. I'm sure a lot of people do get help from therapy. But when you see people who are just like neurotic and have the same OCD and issues and can't get out of their own way and can't show up on September 2nd to do their big return show when they've been promoting it for fucking weeks, you go, well, what's all this therapy doing for you? And I appreciated Bill's point on that.
Did you hear what he says next, what he's about to say?
Yes.
Do you have that?
I don't.
He says, because no one knows me better than me. So I don't need somebody telling me what's going on with me and what I need to do. Bill, what have you been doing for the first 15 minutes of this episode? Is explaining to Woody why he's the way he is, and when he disagrees, you disagree, and then explain to him why you know better and he's wrong. You won't even accept his taste in art and movies. So you sound like a really bad candidate for therapy. But I heard that gentleman Moody say once on This Little Piggy, the best definition of therapy. He said, like, if you are looking to get something from it, you will. If you're not, it's just an excuse and a waste of time to show people how healed you are. My response to people like Howard Stern and Woody Allen is, I can't imagine how bad they would have been if they didn't go. Like, whatever shit is keeping them up at night probably only got 10% better, but it would have been 90% worse if they weren't doing something about it.
Maybe. I mean, that's not how science works. Right. I don't think that they could be worse. I can't imagine a worse version of Howard. He's agoraphobic.
I can. And untreated mental illness doesn't get better.
No, but whatever's being reinforced to him is making it worse, in my opinion.
If you're going there as an excuse, or if you're going there to the wrong person who's just taking your money, or if you're not really digging into the right stuff and someone's like, oh, I can get this guy on the hook for the next 50 years, that's entirely possible. But just talking about things to anyone out loud, especially if they're like fucking you up, it's got to be a good thing.
Right. And no, I agree with your point that Bill's not understanding the concept of therapy, where he's going, no, I already have all the answers. Like, okay, yeah, that's the wrong attitude. That's the wrong approach to going into someone's office and talking about what's going on in your life.
Howard's not a good poster boy for it. Look, he's not. And
I know, I understand.
Woody Allen, but Woody doesn't drink or smoke or do anything. And people like that always have some other vice,
Yeah, like underage girls.
Something like that.
Something like that. This, I think, describes our buddy Greg Opie Hughes to a T.
I think you have. I always thought you had what I call New York syndrome, which is like people who just can't be happy unless they're a little unhappy. Like.
Great response. Keep defining me over there, Bill. Thanks. Appreciate it. So then they get into the concept of death. Woody Allen's 90 years old, or he's going to be 90 years old at the end of this year. And I don't think Bill knows what the fuck he's talking about here.
I mean, at the end of this year, in December, I'll be 90.
I know.
And I plan on dying in the next few years.
AI could stop that. Would you live forever if AI let you?
You mean, what would they do? Insert a little mechanism in my head, and I would never be experiencing me.
I don't have the blueprints, but AI is doing amazing things.
I mean, AI can create songs and photos and can tell you how great you're doing in life.
And our script.
But I think a lot of people are now just saying AI instead of technology.
Yeah.
It's not like AI is going to make people live forever. That's retarded.
Not the AI I know.
Well, yeah, maybe I'm the idiot. But he just goes, yeah, you can maybe live forever because of AI. And I think actually Woody understands this better than Bill does. Because the way Bill's describing it, it'd be like, I die, and there's a Carl GPT. So you can still talk to me every day, Chris.
Sweet.
Get on there. Just be like, do you see the Cubs lost? I'm like, yeah, I think way to kick a guy while he's down, Like our fun conversations that we have. Want to go out for drinks later? Very funny, producer Chris. You asshole.
I like this.
I don't like it. I don't like this at all. But yeah, so then they get into the fact that AI is taking over and the robots are taking over.
We don't know what. First of all, they're plotting against us. You know this, right? I mean, the robots are going to take over. But they also might keep us alive. Or they might kill all of us because we misgendered somebody.
I don't think they're going to keep us alive. I mean, I don't think necessarily they're going to kill us, but I don't think you're ever going to get to that. I mean, they can increase longevity with advanced medical, knowledge. Mm-hmm. But I don't. It doesn't look good. There's no way out of this.
Now that you're in California.
Yes, Woody. Ding, ding, ding. Just saying, you live forever because of AI. He's just like, well, no, people live longer because of advancements in technology in the medical field, for sure, because of medicine, but not because of ChatGPT, obviously. I know I'm oversimplifying.
So that's when Bill says, oh, yeah, you're right. I didn't think that through.
Because he said it in such a brilliant way. He's like, no, Bill, there's no way out of this.
Right. Yeah. We're all going to die, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're fantasizing about that, too. You're turning 70 soon, but no. Let's look at the comments on this video.
I know a lot of people who...
God, the ZipRecruiter commercials. Are people really watching that show and then hiring a lot of people at once? My dear Bill, with all my heartfelt admiration, please listen to this. Let your guests talk. It's the top comment.
Wow.
Yep. 702 thumbs up on that with 42 replies. It says, Woody Allen finally gets a chance to interview Bill Maher. What an opportunity to interview Woody Allen and not let him talk. You blew it, Bill.
God damn.
Woody says, about half my movies are good, half are not. How about asking which ones and why? Yeah, Bill never pivots, does he? Like,
no.
His guests will say something interesting, and you want to latch onto it and be like, oh, expand on that. Or my favorite Dick Masterson follow-up question, what do you mean by that? And Bill just goes, all right, wait. So anyway, I really enjoyed this movie that you made. Why don't you?
He's not listening at all.
Will Bill ever let anyone finish a sentence? The best was when Chevy Chase got sick of it and asked him, do you realize I'm in the middle of a sentence?
It's the funniest thing Chevy Chase ever did.
Love the bit when Bill cuts Woody off and says, that's not relevant. Bill should simply sit in front of a mirror and interview himself. Love or hate him, it's very rare for Woody Allen to do an interview. And of course, Bill Maher blew it and ruined it by talking over him. You would think somebody close to Bill would read the comment and at least suggest that he stop interrupting so much. So here's what I'm seeing from this. I'm seeing a lot of Woody Allen fans going, oh, sweet. Woody Allen got interviewed. Let's check this out. And they're like, oh, this guy sucks at interviewing.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been great if he could have actually expanded on the concept in his book and how he felt about movie making and what his shortcomings were as a writer and director and actor and all those things. But
even if you're not a fan, if you're just interested in the controversy or the man, you don't get to learn anything except that Bill disagrees with him.
It's a weird way to interview people, but Bill's getting all the... It wasn't that long ago. He just had children on. Remember that?
So I was just going to say, he has kids on and has the balls to say this to them.
Yeah, that's not that interesting.
That's right.
True story.
He treats children the same way he treats Woody Allen and Billy Joel. So there you have it, folks. All
Yeah,
you
we
need
don't
to
have
know.
time for a song.
You know, what's funny about that, and I might have brought this up when we talked about it, when Billy Joel's like, oh, do you want me to show you the song or do you want me to sing it? And Howard Stern used to be a lot better at interviewing than he is now. But I remember Howard would let Billy play the piano. And Billy would explain the reason why the notes were in the sequence they were was because of the chaos of the lyrics or what he was trying to get through about the song. So he wrote it with this chord progression. He explained why. It was like really heady shit that I never think about when I'm writing music. So I'm like, oh, this is next level. This is cool. And that's what Bill Maher completely missed out on.
Yep.
He was ready to sit there and explain to him like what the influence was and what he was trying to accomplish. Like I learned so much about Billy Joel from Howard Stern, where he's writing songs in Mick Jagger's voice. You know, Big Shot. I wrote that pretending Mick Jagger was singing it, and it's like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. That is a Stone song right there.
You hear there's Paul McCartney songs, there's Ray Charles songs, and he does the impressions, and he sings it as if he's them.
Yes, that's so fascinating to me. Because as a Ween fan, that's what Aaron Freeman does too. He writes music based on an artist that he admires. Like he loves Prince, and so he writes "She's a Freak Monique," and you're like, this is like a Prince song. This is so fucking cool. And I would love to talk to him about that process. Bill Maher does none of this. He doesn't give a shit. He just wants to tell this guy what he thinks of him and have him agree with him.
And he won't accept when they try and tell him the truth. Bob Dylan, the world's greatest songwriter, if you want to talk to him about great songwriting, he won't. He says, is a quote, I'm a song and dance man. That's what I do. You talk to Billy Joel, you're like, you're the greatest songwriter. He's like, I'm a piano player. I just want to be a piano player in a band. Bill Maher, you're like, you've tackled religion and all of these heady things. I'm just a comic, man. I'm just a comic. Woody Allen, he's doing the same thing. Treat them how they want to be treated.
Yeah, you'd get more out of it.
Who are these podcasts?